I'm not transsexual, I'm transhuman.
Everywhere you turn now, it's trans this and trans rights that. Just last week, the UK Supreme Court ruled that the legal definition of a woman is based on biological sex, meaning trans women don't legally count as women under equality law.
The unanimous decision of this court is that the terms woman and sex in the Equality Act 2010 refer to a biological woman and biological sex.
In other words, sex is assigned at birth, and trans women, including those who've undergone gender reassignment, are not legally considered women.
Should trans women be in women's sports or using women's bathrooms when they aren't biologically female? Some feel like cisgender women are losing their space.
You are the highest paid female CEO in America.
Look, I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to break down why all of this is such a huge deal. The way we talk about gender has changed big time. Back in the day, people used the term transsexual, mostly from the 50s to the 70s. Then transgender took over in the late 80s and 90s. But the shift wasn't just about people expressing themselves. It was a shift in how we view gender, the body, and what it means to be human.
People could choose whatever gender they want if they weren't forced by society into categories of either male or female, the way South Africa used to force people into categories of black or white.
So I did write a whole book just on this particular topic of digital uploading and the soul. It's called...
No way.
Yeah, it's called Virtually Human.
I should have known.
Yeah, you can get it on Amazon, Virtually Human, The Peril and Promise of Digital Immortality.
Human beings are the species that transcend their limits. I'm quite confident that we'll be able to transcend the barrier of disease and old age before the end of this century.
Not just a transgender woman, not just a billionaire. Martine is a biotech mastermind, a futurist, and a force behind a movement that feels less like science fiction and more like the blueprint for tomorrow. Forbes puts her worth at over $1.1 billion, but her real power isn't in the money, it's in the vision. She wrote a book called From Transgender to Transhuman. It's her manifesto. Rothblatt isn't just challenging gender boundaries. She wants to remove them and anything else that limits the human body. Martine envisions a world where humans aren't locked into their bodies, but gender is just one small step toward the bigger leap, transcending humanity itself. She believes you shouldn't just be able to pick your gender, you should be able to pick your species, your consciousness, even your form. She's talking about merging with machines, uploading your mind, upgrading your body like it's an iOS update. Martine founded SiriusXM and completely changed how we hear music. Then she built United Therapeutics, a biotech empire working on lab-grown lungs and pushing nanotech.
On a 22-acre patch out here, a biotech firm called United Therapeutics is on the cutting edge, and they want to bring in about 200 pigs out here. They'll grow kidneys for humans. It's wild, and PETA says it's wrong.
Our Investigates team has a new project on its radar, a genetically modified pig lab that is planning to be built just south of Lake Houston. Those pigs will grow organs for humans. They will then be killed to harvest those organs.
And just to really mess with your concept of reality, she created an AI clone of her wife called Bina 48. It can talk, learn, and evolve.
So what Martine has done is created a lifelike replica of Bina, Bina is in real human flesh backstage. The replica is literally learning to be Bina.
Someday, I'm confident that the real Bina and I will totally merge
into a new super being.
Back in 1957, Julian Huxley came up with the word transhumanism. He believed we would evolve beyond biology using science. His brother, Aldous Huxley, wrote Brave New World, warning us what that might look like. Designer babies, artificial wombs.
System is really a recreation of the environment that a fetus normally resides in.
So many research groups have been trying to develop a system like this since the 1950s. However, they've met with limited success. So we went back to the literature and we had a look at what other people had tried, and we sort of transitioned our line of thought to, let's not treat this as a newborn baby, let's actually treat this as a fetus.
We chose the lamb as an animal model for a number of reasons. Most of what we know about human fetal development is from the lamb. So all of the physiologic research over the past 50, 60 years that have told us about the fetal circulation, about developmental events, most of it has been from the lamb. The system works by two major components. The first one is a circulatory system that goes through an oxygenator. So it's a connection through the umbilical cord vessels that allows blood to flow out of the fetus through the oxygenator and back into the fetus, exchange gas like the placenta does. And then the other component is a fluid.
And now here we are, gender being flipped, reproduction being redesigned, people dreaming of living forever as data. Martine Rothblatt is leading the charge, not just into a new gender world, but a whole new human one. Martine ain't just about transitioning, she's about transcending. And while that might sound powerful to some, to others, it's a red flag. Because once we start reprogramming humans, who decides what's next?